Hi everyone, Zoe and Joe here, and today we're talking to you about beliefs and how they feature in coaching, what we do with them, and really just some thoughts and reflections to introduce you to this concept of how beliefs affect the way that we behave. So, where do you want to start, Joe?
Well, I guess firstly, we obviously all have beliefs that we carry around with us, and some of the theory is that we form our foundational beliefs between the time we're born and when we are about 7 years old. So, if you think about your kind of life circumstances at that time and how you would have processed your experience of the world, it might give you some indication as to some of the beliefs that you might have formed around that time. So, that's Morris Macy's theory. So we have empowering beliefs that enable us to achieve the things that we do and to get enjoyment in that. And they might be beliefs like, I can do anything I put my mind to, I'm important, people enjoy spending time with me, and so on. We also, all of us, have some limiting beliefs that can get in the way of our enjoyment or our performance of things in life. And they could be limiting beliefs such as, I will always be alone. I'm not good enough is a very common one. And the first step, really, to working with your beliefs is to be able to identify what they are. And that will be part of a coaching conversation.
Yeah, and beliefs reside in our unconscious mind. So we have our conscious mind, which is all of the things that we use to make decisions, from what coffee we might like to what time we're going to set our alarm for. And our unconscious mind is everything else. So it's the domain of our emotions, our values, our beliefs, our memories, um, our personality preferences, those sorts of things. So it's very difficult to discover your own beliefs on your own, because of the fact that they reside in your unconscious mind. So, the beauty of working with a coach is that they're trained to listen to your language patterns, to share observations, to help you to identify where some of those beliefs might lie. And you would identify beliefs just through conversation about different situations and scenarios or challenges that you might be experiencing. You may use things like values. So, when you've done a values elicitation, you may notice that some of those values are more negatively inclined than positively inclined in terms of the behaviours that it generates. And so that might give you a clue as an indication of beliefs. But fundamentally, the important thing about beliefs is they change naturally over time. So if you think about some of the beliefs you used to hold when you were younger, and it may be things about noticing, things about your confidence. Like when I was much younger, I used to be quite shy in groups, whereas I've grown up and as I've matured, I've become more confident in groups. So there are beliefs that I had that have evolved in order to support my behaviors. So beliefs do change naturally over time. And in coaching, what we do is we use that natural belief change cycle to accelerate the ability for beliefs to change. And part of that is about, as Joe said, identifying these beliefs. And then the second stage would be more around challenging them. So the coach's role isn't there to collude with you on the beliefs that you have, but to help you firstly identify them and then to help you to challenge them and to see things differently so you can start to form some new beliefs.
Yeah, we love belief change work because our interest in coaching is about enabling people to create positive and sustained change. So, actually, supporting people to identify and kind of change limiting beliefs helps them to be able to coach themselves moving forward too. And as Zoe said, beliefs can change naturally over time. Things like Father Christmas, we believed in that when we were younger, but our belief around what that concept is may be different now. But our beliefs also can change and do change as the result of significant emotional events. So if you have a relationship breakdown, for example, and then you might decide, oh, all men are X or all women are, are Y, or when somebody dies, a loved one dies, often, we can form a belief then. And the purpose of the belief is actually often to protect us at that particular time, to protect us from pain. But we may not need to keep that belief might not serve us longer term. So I often think about beliefs as being, when you work with a client on beliefs, it's almost like going into the loft and looking at the boxes, and then you find a box. Oh, that's a I'm not confident box. And when you open that box up, you find there's another one in it that you didn't realize there was another belief underneath. So, working in a trusted relationship with a coach to discover these things can be really supportive. And generally speaking, our beliefs fall into three categories: beliefs about what we think is possible, beliefs about what we think we are able to do, and beliefs about our self-worth. So our limiting beliefs often fall into one of those categories, and that can be a helpful place to start with your client or the person in your team.
Yeah, and they're often layered as well. So you might have beliefs around your ability, for example, that present themselves as challenges about your ability, but actually rooted in beliefs about worth. So another role of a coach is to help get to what we call like the root cause of where your present day challenges, and that, so you have a goal, you want to move forward, that's ultimately what coaching is about, and you're experiencing challenge moving forward with that. And the role of the coach is really to help you get to the crux of what is holding you back. Now, it might look like it's about ability, it might look like it's about possibility. Often when you get to the crux of it, it's about worth. And I think when you can identify the limiting belief, and as Jo mentioned, they can be positive, so you also start to identify what the positive intention for that limiting belief is, you can find other ways to meet the positive intention to be able to help yourself move forward. So it's quite deep rooted in coaching, but on our coaching training programs, that's ultimately what we're helping new coaches to do, is to work with this natural process of change to help clients accelerate their development and overcome obstacles that reside in their more unconscious mind than their conscious one.
Yeah, and when I did my original coaching training, I very much had, part of me. So often beliefs, there's conflict involved in beliefs. So, for me, if somebody said, "Are you confident?" I'd say, "Yes, I am confident." But then there's this other voice, there would be this other voice that said, "No, you're not." So it's like, I am confident, I'm not confident. So for some people, it's more how do you kind of reintegrate those two so that you can genuinely, wholeheartedly say, "Yes, I am confident," which is how I feel now and how I experience myself and how other people would experience me. And that gives me peace of mind. So there are arguably 5 foundational beliefs that people who live happy and content lives have. They are: I am equal, I am powerful, I am capable, I am valuable, and I am lovable. And when we have limiting beliefs, I often describe them as being fractured. Which of those is fractured? So if you think about the example I gave with my confidence, for me, the empowering beliefs that help to shift that are the I am equal and I am powerful. And so if I go into a situation where I might notice there's a little wobble and, internally, then I look to those 5 beliefs and think, right, which of those do I really, if I step into that now, will enable me to be my best self? And that makes a huge difference. Think of them as like superpowers or super capes that you can put on.
Yeah. So, that hopefully just whets your appetite around beliefs and gives you some things to reflect on. If you want to start to challenge and think about your own beliefs, it would be good to think about what challenges you or what triggers you. So when you're in a situation, what is it that throws you off center and throws you into maybe negative thinking patterns? Because if you can start to identify what throws you off center, it's likely to be attached to a belief that doesn't serve you. And the first step is about awareness.
I can't, and it'll start with like, I can't do X because Y. And that will help you to identify it. But we take you through belief change processes on our coaching course. If you are interested in going deeper into this, it's really important, life-changing work.
Yeah. And I suppose that's one of the beauties of training to be a coach, is you use all this stuff on yourself as well as on your clients. So you get to do a good old closet clean of those unhelpful beliefs that you may not even know are there yet, right? It's about layers. And I suppose that's the other thing I would say about beliefs, is it's not necessarily that visiting them in coaching once takes them away forever. Like, as you progress through your journey of life. You might be growing a business, you might be climbing a career ladder. As you experience new things, those old beliefs might come up and revisit, because there's a new layer for you to learn from. So it really changes the relationship that you have with your beliefs, so that they don't have to limit you, but that you can learn from them and convert them into something that's more empowering.
Yeah. So I hope you found that useful. You might be watching us in YouTube, you might be watching us in our coaching crowd group on Facebook, or maybe you're watching this on our vlog on our website. If you are, come and visit the other places I've just mentioned, because you might find some other resources in those places that would be helpful to you wherever you are in your coaching journey right now.